I decided to film in my car today. Is this in focus? I decided to film in my car today because it's raining outside. So we're gonna see how this goes. All right, can I adjust this to sit okay on my dash so that I can at least talk to the people? Can I? All right, what if I flip out the screen? I mean, honest to God. All right, well now I'm just crooked. Is that good? Technology. This here is the Apple Watch Series 8, and it's kind of boring. I realize the effect a tech YouTuber has on calling a product boring. If one calls it boring, you might as well have 1,000 calling it boring, okay? And I don't use that term lightly here. Rarely do I ever call something actually boring or not worth the money. You know, trillion-dollar tech companies like Apple are not shipping watches just for the hell of it. They're shipping them because they know they have a target audience. The Series 8 definitely has a target audience, and it kind of only has one mission in life. That's just to be a new Apple Watch. And by shipping this new Apple Watch, Apple has hit the only benchmark that they have to hit. They've shipped a new Apple Watch for 2022. Congratulations. Since its debut in 2014, there's been a new Apple Watch every single year, and that's not changing this year. But it's no secret that the watch has gotten stagnant over the past couple of years. Sure, there's been a new health sensor or two that can help with personal monitoring, and Apple has tweaked the design of the watch slightly, but the last few generations have been more focused on refinement than revolution. Now that's kind of the story with the Apple Watch Series 8. It has a couple of new features. It's got temperature sensing, it has car crash detection, and it runs watchOS 9 right out of the box. But beyond those two new hardware-centric features, this watch feels a lot like the Series 7. Really, the Series 8 is just a new Apple Watch, and that's okay. But it's only worth upgrading to when new features like a bigger screen, more health tracking features, better performance are completely new or much more relevant to you. So if you're coming from something like a Series 4, or in my case, coming from a Series 3, you're going to notice a huge difference. But for a lot of Series 7, Series 6, and Series 5 users, you might as well skip this one and wait for something that offers a little bit more. This watch isn't really boring, it just doesn't do a lot that's new compared to last year. So here's the lowdown. I just realized my SD card is extremely low, so I might have to pick this back up. So, all right, better. So the two new big features on the Apple Watch Series 8. You have temperature sensing and car crash detection. I'm going to get to the second one first because it was the only one that I couldn't test. So with the Series 8, Apple's including crash detection for the first time, which can automatically alert emergency services if it detects you've been in an accident. Now to do this, it uses a new 3-axis gyroscope, a G-force accelerometer with what Apple says is the highest dynamic range in any smartwatch, the built-in microphones, there's a barometer, GPS, and an advanced sensor fusion algorithm. With all of that, your watch looks for things like dramatic cabin pressure changes, sudden speed decreases, and sounds that are similar to those associated with a crash. If it detects you've been in an accident, it'll give you an option to make an emergency call, or if you remain unresponsive, they'll call emergency services for you and provide dispatchers with your location. Now, this feature is also available on the iPhone 14 and the second generation Apple Watch SE. I'm sure this feature works just as Apple advertised, but I'm going to drop a link to a test that Joanna Stern from the Wall Street Journal did, where she goes through super extensive testing to see whether the feature works. She found it can be kind of spotty. Now, I'm going to say if you do wind up getting in an accident, it's probably going to work. But if you want a more detailed overview of that feature, you're going to want to check out Joanne's stuff. She's really good. Now, the second new feature is the temperature sensor. Now, that feature was rumored to be coming to the Series 8 months and months before the watch was unveiled. There was a rumor it might sense the weather temperature, maybe it could detect if you had a fever. Neither of those features wound up actually shipping on the Apple Watch Series 8. So what you're left with is improved cycle tracking and wrist temperature while you're sleeping. With cycle tracking, it can show you a retrospective chart of when you likely ovulated. You'll also get improved period predictions, as well as notifications if the data that's recorded shows a possible cycle deviation. All this data is stored securely on your iPhone, and it can't be accessed by anybody you don't explicitly share it with, like your doctor or your healthcare provider. I am not a woman, therefore I did not test this, but if you want more information on that feature, I'll be dropping some reviews in the description below. The way I've been using the new temperature sensor is tracking my wrist temperature at night. So if you use your Apple Watch to track your sleep, you'll also be able to take wrist temperature readings to see if anything is out of the ordinary. This could be useful if you want to see how something like alcohol affects your system, or if you're keeping track of diet changes and need more information on how your body's handling it at night. Now, to actually get the feature working, you have to sleep with your Apple Watch on for 5 nights, preferably in a row, so that your wrist temperature readings over that period can create a cohesive guide. Now, I did go back and look at the chart that the health app on my iPhone generated from reading my wrist temperature, and my wrist temperature kind of varied from some generic baseline over the period of time that I was testing the Series 8. I don't think it really means anything to me. I'm not looking for anything specific, but I guess it could be helpful if, say, you are trying a new diet out, or you just want to see if alcohol makes you a little bit warmer when you sleep. Totally up to you. Of course, this feature comes with the same disclaimer that basically every other health feature on the Apple Watch includes, which is do not use the temperature sensor as a precise health tracking device. It is simply for reference only. If you have issues, if you have any sort of medical problems, you should go to a doctor. And that's kind of it. That's all the temperature sensor does. There's no fancy fever detection or some other type of wow feature that benefits from a sensor like this. I still don't think temperature sensing or the crash detection are reasons to upgrade to the Series 8. Even if you want to start planning for a family, there are other tools on the market that you can use to do just that. The Series 8 isn't the only one. This is sort of the reason, here comes a big truck. This is the reason why a lot of people call the Series 8 boring. It does 2 new things that kind of matter, kind of don't, and that's really it. The rest of the watch is very similar to the Series 7, but that doesn't mean it isn't a killer watch. This is a fantastic smartwatch. It has the same design as the Series 7, shipping in 41 and 45 millimeter sizes. It's nice and thin, it's lightweight, the screens are absolutely beautiful. They get up to 1,000 nits bright so you can see it in direct sunlight. They are fantastic. The always-on display is great for just glancing at the time when you don't want to draw attention to yourself. watchOS 9 is fast and fluid, as you would expect. I absolutely love the new watch faces and the improved health features. Performance is wonderful thanks to the S8 processor. Battery life lasts all day long for me. I go to bed with like 20% left in the tank, which is more than enough to feel safe. And fast charging kind of fixes that problem where you don't know when to charge your Apple Watch if you use it for tracking your sleep. So what I like to do is take it off when I'm winding down at night, place it on the fast charger, and then by the time I go to bed, the watch is at 100%, so I just strap it to my wrist, and then I use it for sleep tracking, wake up the next morning with about 90% in the tank. That's plenty to get through a full day. I'm actually kind of confused as to why people think this is really an issue. And just for reference, I did wind up buying the cellular model. I've had no issues with connectivity over T-Mobile. Notifications come in reliably, text messages don't have any issues, and making phone calls is as clear as using my iPhone, so take that for what you will. So by and large, the Apple Watch Series 8 is the best Apple Watch to date, and yet it's not worth upgrading to unless you're coming from something older. For example, I'm coming from a Series 3. The Series 3 came out in 2017. It has the original Apple Watch design. It's kind of chunky. The S3 processors are really slow. So from that to the Series 8, you have some significant differences. The bigger display with its slim bezels and always-on mode is pretty much life-changing. And performance with the S8 chip compared to the S3 is like driving an old broken-down Camry and upgrading to a Ferrari. I'm also able to actually update my Apple Watch. So I don't know if you guys know this, but with the Series 3, at least the non-cellular model, Apple gave it 8 gigabytes of storage. You can't do anything with 8 gigabytes of storage in 2022, let alone in 2017. So installing any apps, downloading any music to listen to with wireless headphones, I would have to clear all of that out in order to update, because every update was way bigger in size than what my Apple Watch actually had free. So that basically meant I would have to reset my Apple Watch every time a new watchOS update rolled in, which sucked. It was a mess. So I'm very happy that the Series 8 has 32 gigs of storage, which is plenty to update regularly and keep all of the apps, the music, the photos, whatever else I want on my watch. For anyone with a more recent Apple Watch, say like the Series 5 and up, you probably won't get as excited as I am upgrading from a Series 3. The design hasn't changed much, performance is going to feel the same, and the software is basically identical. Apple's been marketing a lot of the features in watchOS 9 as new features that belong to the Series 8, but a lot of them can be found on watches dating back to the Series 4. For example, these lovely watch faces, the Metropolitan and California faces, can also be found on the Series 7. The new fitness features, like better run tracking, heart rate zones, and customizable workouts, are on pretty much every other Apple Watch that can run watchOS 9. And you get the new UI stuff, like notification banners and an improved app dock. The Series 8 is basically a repackaged Series 7 with car crash detection and a temperature sensor. The starting prices are exactly the same at $399 for Bluetooth and $499 for cellular. At that point, it might even be worth it to pick up a Series 7 on a discount and save some money over the Series 8. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and bash the Series 8 for being boring or for being lame. Yes, compared to the Series 7, it is a lame upgrade. But nobody's upgrading from the Series 7 to the Series 8. As every other tech reviewer will tell you, Apple likes to gradually update its products so that when you've had one for years and you buy the new one, you will get the bigger screen, you'll get the nicer design, you'll get the faster performance, you'll get more software support. There's a lot more in store for Series 3 and Series 4 users compared to Series 5, 6, and 7 users. If you want the best Apple Watch you can get, which doesn't come with the name Ultra, get the Series 8. I'm not gonna lie to you, you're gonna absolutely love it. But you have to be coming from a Series 4 or a Series 3 to really appreciate what you're getting here. There's a lot of bang for your buck. I mean, new to me is blood oxygen monitoring, improved heart rate notifications and stuff. There's a lot here that's new. But if you're coming from a Series 5, 6, or 7, you can safely skip the Series 8. Like I said, there's nothing crazy about this watch, and that makes it kind of boring. But for those who are due for a new Apple Watch after years of using a Series 3 or Series 4, or if you're buying an Apple Watch for the very first time, you cannot go wrong with the Series 8. It's a wonderful watch. The update's kind of boring generation over generation, but I don't think you'll regret buying it. Oh, and just as a side note, I just relaunched my newsletter as Legendary Scoop. So if you want to subscribe to that, it's only $5 a month. I'm going to drop a link in the description. New issues come out on Wednesdays and Fridays. You get news, you get product breakdowns of what I've been using, inside scoops on things. It's pretty cool. I'm still working out the kinks. I still need a logo, so if you're a graphic designer, email me. Here's my email address. Anyway, yeah, go ahead and subscribe. See you guys.